everyone, today I'm going to be doing my June monthly makeup routine. So I do these videos every month just showing you the makeup that I've been loving wearing at the moment. This month I've been loving glowy, fresh skin, bright eyes and a bit of a red lip here and there. So that's the look I'm going to be doing for you today, and I'm just going to get started. A lot of the products I'm using are high end, so I've taken out a load of drugstore alternatives to recommend along the way, but I want to actually use the products that I've been using, which most of them are high end. So I'm going to start off with my base, and this is a bit of a ridiculous overpriced mix, but I have been loving it. So I'm definitely on the hunt for some drugstore alternatives if you guys know of any. I'm mixing together Chanel Le Beige All-in-One Healthy Glow Fluid, which is like a bronzy liquid. A few different brands have these, and the Tom Ford Illuminating Primer, which is like a glowy primer. I like to put a big pump of the, actually kind of 2 pumps of the highlighting liquid, and then a small squirt of the bronzing liquid. And this is quite bronzy actually, so you don't need that much. But I feel like this gives such a nice like bronzy, glowy base to the skin. So I'm just gonna put that all over the skin. And I absolutely love the look it gives to the skin. It's so fresh and glowy. And a slight hint of tan as well. I have been tanning my body recently, so this sort of makes my face match, because I don't like to tan my face for some reason. Don't know why, it never looks natural. So I'm just rubbing that all in, blending it down the neck. This Tom Ford Illuminating Primer is the best I've tried. It's even better than the Laura Mercier one. I really, really like it. Just adds an instant glow to your skin. If you feel like your skin's a little bit dull, this primer will definitely help with that. Okay, so that's the base done, and now I'm going to use my NARS Sheer Glow foundation, which I've been getting back into recently. This is kind of a light to medium coverage, but it definitely has the glow factor. It really amps up the glow on my skin, and I love the finish. A good alternative to this one would be the Bourjois Happy Light foundation, which is actually very similar, a little bit lighter in coverage, but a really pretty foundation. I'm just going to buff this in with the Bobbi Brown full coverage face brush. I'm still loving this brush, although it really doesn't wash that well, which is very annoying. If any of you guys have this brush and you found a better way to wash it than how I usually do under the sink, because I feel like it just stays wet for so long and it changes the texture of the brush. I'm just going to buff that into the skin. Blends in really quickly. I've either been using this month the NARS Sheer Glow or the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder foundation. They've both been favourites of mine this month. That's kind of what it looks like on the skin, so still have that kind of glow, fresh, dewy look to the skin. I'm going to do concealer, and I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Retoucher, which I've been loving for under my eyes. So I'm just going to give that kind of one twist and then apply a strip under my eyes. I've been trying not to go too far in the inner corner. I always make that mistake and then it bunches up on my eyelid, so I've been trying to get out of that habit. And I'm going to blend that in using the Real Techniques setting brush, which I love for concealer. With this concealer, I like to just kind of tap it on because it's quite sheer, so I feel like you get better coverage if you blend with a lighter hand. It's so brightening though. I love this for under the eyes. I feel like this is good for dark circles, but if you have really dark purple or blue under your eye, then I would recommend the Bobbi Brown Corrector or any kind of peachy tone concealer. If you want a drugstore alternative concealer, I'd recommend the Revlon Colour Stay Concealer. I think this is a really nice kind of dewy, fresh concealer. So that's my under eyes, and for my face, I'm going to use the Clarins Instant Concealer. I feel like the Charlotte Tilbury one is a little bit too brightening for the face sometimes, so I'm just going to take a tiny amount of this. It is so pigmented, you hardly need any product, and just take a little bit on my chin, a little bit around my nose, a little bit on the tip of my nose, and then I'm also going to take a tiny bit just under my eye. This concealer is great, and you can use it alone without foundation. If you have pretty good skin, this works really nicely as like a quite like a foundation concealer. That's what I would call it. You can just use it on the areas where you need it instead of putting foundation all over your skin. Okay, so the skin is done. As you can see, it does look very dewy and glowy, which is lovely. I really love that look. But because I want my makeup to last all day, I am going to set it just in a few places. I'm going to use the Hourglass Diffuse Light because I love this. It's a really, really lightweight powder, and it's slightly yellowy, which works for my skin. A good drugstore alternative would be the Bourjois Healthy Balance powder, which is also very lightweight and looks really nice and undetectable on the skin. I'm just going to place it on my chin very lightly, just around my nose, in the centre of my forehead and under the eyes. And that's the only place I'm going to set it because I really like the dewiness on my cheeks and everywhere else. Okay, for bronzer, I'm going to use the new bronzer from Hourglass. This is Luminous Bronze Light. They have two new bronzers. It looks very similar to their ambient lighting blushes, which I absolutely love. I tried these in store and loved them, and then when I tried this at home, it was a very muddy dark brown colour, and I wasn't sure it suited me, and I kind of gave up on it a bit, but then I realised I could probably use a lighter brush like this MAC 188. So it's like a duo fibre brush, so it applies a lot less product, and I feel like with this, you just have to take your time and not overdo it. It won't be good if you have really pale skin, because it is quite dark, but if you do have slightly darker skin than me, I think this is a really lovely bronzer. A nice drugstore bronzer is the Kiko Masterpiece bronzer in Forward Sienna. That's a really lovely, pretty bronzer. So I'm just going to take some of this Hourglass bronzer, take it off on the back of my hand first, and then very lightly in circular motions, I'm just going to apply it to the outer part of the face. This is very time consuming, but it's such a nice bronzer. I wanted to find a way to be able to use it because it's just a bit too dark for me when I use a proper bronzer brush. I still haven't decided how I feel about this product. Just going to keep blending it. Hopefully they'll bring out one that's a little bit lighter because that would be perfect for me. I know there is a darker one and a lighter one out of the two. I'm not sure if this is the darker or lighter one. It's Luminous Bronze Light, so I'm guessing it's light. It can be done though. I think that's quite a nice bronze. Not too much, but it definitely makes a nice change to the face. For a highlighter, I'm going to use a new one that I bought from Kevyn Aucoin, and this is Starlight. So I have the Candlelight one, which is a gorgeous kind of champagne-y gold. This one's a bit more pink, which is a bit different for me, but I think it's so, so pretty. And I've been using it as an eyeshadow as well, which is really nice. So I'm just going to take a little bit on my brush and just add it to the tops of my cheekbones. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just a really pretty pinky highlighter. It reminds me a bit of MAC All That Glitters eyeshadow. I think that's really nice. And if you've got a little bit left on the brush, you can take it down the centre of the nose. A good drugstore alternative for that would be the Soap and Glory Glow All Out, which is another kind of pinky highlight. It's not as highlighty, but this is nice actually for like all over the cheeks. For blusher, I'm going to use one of the Max Factor blushers, which I absolutely love. These are a really good dupe for the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush. This is in the shade Alluring Rose. It's kind of an interesting like mauvey, rosy shade, but it kind of goes with the whole bronzed look. So I'm just going to add a little bit of that to my cheeks. I love these blushes. I think they're so pretty. Okay, now onto my brows, and of course I'm going to use my Anastasia Brow Wiz. I've actually run out of this though. I didn't realise. I thought it was just broken, but I've literally come to the end. There's a tiny bit left. The Soap and Glory Archery will also do as a drugstore alternative. There's less colours available and they're slightly warmer, but don't be afraid to use the blonde one if you have brown brows because it works just as well. So I'm just filling in a few sections of my brows. And then I've also run out of my Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. I'm going to have to make a big cult beauty order soon. So I'm going to use this one from Dior, which is the Brow Styler Gel. I really like the idea. You open it and wind it up and the gel kind of comes through the brush. But I don't find it works as well as like a standard clear brow gel. So I'm using this at the moment, but I'm going to go back to my Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. Okay, for eyeshadow, I'm going to use this palette from L'Oreal. It's the La Palette Nude. I haven't bought the new one because I really like this one. It's got everything I need in it. It's got a really nice mix of rosy, taupey, plummy shades, and it's so, so pretty. I'm going to just take a fluffy brush and I'm going to take the shade right in the centre, which is a really nice light pink, slightly peachy actually. Blend in my concealer, which always creases on my lid. I'm just going to apply that all over the lid. I'm going to take a little bit more of that. It's so pretty. It's quite sheer though, so you can layer it up. And then I'm going to take the shade 2 shades up, which is like, I think it's a matte lilac-y plum, and apply that in the outer corner. I really love plummy shades on my eyes. I think it goes really nicely with brown eyes. And then I'm going to take that plummy shade under the eye as well. I'm just applying it very lightly because I don't want anything too heavy for this look. Okay, I'm also going to use my little finger on the shade that's right at the beginning and use that as an inner corner highlight. I think that really opens and brightens up your eyes and looks so pretty in the summer. I'm just going to dab it very lightly in the inner corner. And I love what that does to the eyes. I'm not going to use any eyeliner on the top, which is quite different for me because I think that sometimes when you just use mascara, it looks so fresh and summery, and especially with a red lip, you don't want it to be too heavy. I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Rock and Coal liners. A good drugstore alternative would be the Rimmel Scandaleyes, and I'm going to use a nude on the waterline and a black on the inside of the top, and that just makes your lashes look a little bit thicker. So if you are just wearing mascara, it looks really chic and very Parisian, I think. So I'm going to use the nude colour first, just in the waterline. This can sometimes look a bit weird, but also I think it really opens up the eyes, especially if you're tired and you have a lot of redness. I think this can really help. It always looks a bit weird at first, but if you just blend it in, and after a while it kind of chills out. And then I'm going to apply the black on the inside top of the eye. So I just lift the eye up and apply it inside. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this on camera because I need a mirror and I need a hand. Be right back. Okay, now because I'm not wearing any eyeliner on top, I like to wear a lot of mascara and have really thick, long, fluttery lashes. So I'm going to use the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, which I absolutely love, especially when I'm going out in the evening. I'm just going to apply a few layers of this. It makes my lashes look so thick and amazing. Can you see the difference now between the two lashes? This is such a good mascara. I'm not going to apply any to the bottom lashes because I think it might be a little bit too much. But then the last step is just to do my lipstick. And for this I'm going to use the Clinique Poppy Pop lipstick, which is a really pretty, it's like a red with slightly pinky coral undertones, so it's very fresh and it's a good daytime red, because some reds I find if they're too dark or too classic red, I find it a bit hard to wear it during the day. A good drugstore alternative would be the Rimmel In Love with Ginger, which is slightly more orange, but again a really pretty daytime red lip. Neither of these are matte, but they're also quite long lasting. They're like moisturizing, very easy to wear, and I'm going to use a lip brush to apply this because I feel like you get more precision around the edges and you can really work it into your lips, so I think it gives a more natural finish and it lasts longer. So I'm just going to start by going around the edge. This lip brush is from Kiko, I love it, it's like a retractable one. It's going back and forth, really working it into the lips. These lipsticks are so comfortable to wear, they're really hydrating and I love them. Also, if you use a lip brush, you can really draw in your Cupid's bow if you don't have a very prominent one like me. And then at the end, I like to apply it straight from the bullet, just a little bit. Okay, so lipstick done. That is the finished look. Fresh, glowy skin, very minimal eyes, but quite a lot of mascara, and a fresh daytime, slightly pinky red lip. Let me know what you think of this look, and if you try it out yourself, please tweet me a photo or tag me on Instagram. Both my Twitter and Instagram name is just @LilyPebbles. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I don't know if all of you guys actually subscribe. Thank you so much for watching my videos. But if you subscribe, then you do get alerted whenever I upload a new video. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a very lovely Sunday, and I'll see you on Tuesday for another vlog. Bye.